joined them. They were so beautiful, and they asked me to sing. And when I sang, they said, "Do you know you can sing?" I'm like, "Today is my first time." And I joined them. I started going for their sessions. I loved what I was hearing. Then they started using me during Thursday night prayers in the dormitory. Then I was singing little by little. I finished school. I became friends with a few people that were on TV reality shows. You know, I've done quite a number of them. There's no reality show in Ghana that I haven't auditioned for. And most of them I go through, but I don't get to the final. So it gets to like the last eviction before the final, then I come out. So I had this voice coach that told me that, you know, the reality shows, they're just battles. And the real war that we have to fight is when we're out of the reality show and we come out and we have to make real music for real people and they can relate to it, then you know you're winning the war. And for the past 13 years, I've been doing this. I started off not with gospel, started off with writing love songs. You know, I worked with a few artists at Zap Mallet Studio, Stephanie Benson, Ochame Kwame, Kessie back then, you know, and a few more artists like that. And one time I was in church, I was called to sing, and when I was singing, I just started saying some stuff. Like, I'm gonna serve you with everything that I've got, my heart, my mind, my voice, every ability. So I decided to channel all my love songs to gospel. So if you listen to my songs, they sound more with a love theme more than anything else.
I was going to talk about the a cappella moment, you know, when back in SHS, but this explains it. I was going to talk about the fact that the person who said a cappella no na a gospel.
Oh, it was gospel.
Okay.
I actually come from a very Christian home. My dad is a music director in church and an elder. So my mom also sings in the choir. So it's all been Jesus, Jesus, Jesus like that. But then I just decided to choose my path. I just saw that I had a gift that was infectious to people and that when I sing, I'm able to communicate with their emotions and with their hearts. So to do that with the man above has also been very phenomenal.
Very phenomenal. Well, indeed, I am looking at the journey that is more of a loved one. And so we are going to take one, and only your mind is too infected. It's not about your loved one, it's about God.
Come on. Hey. Yeah. Story of my life. Listen. I've searched all through eternity. Couldn't find myself a friend who loves me so deeply the way that you do. Jesus, you've been true to me since I met you. Promise me you will never leave me. And ever since you've stood by my side, my one and only God, you're my everything. You're God over everything. Nimboji mi nyumo, my one and only God, you're my everything. God over everything. You're my everything. God over everything.
and only indeed. I was just soaking it in, you know, thinking all about God. Just say, "Will be other person be away, God." It was God's moment. I mean, and then you speak some Ga in there. What was
Yeah.
that? How did you?
Bojimi Nyungma, you are my Lord.
Bojimi Nyumo.
Yeah.
Bojimi Nyumo. I know how Bojimi Nyumo Jesus.
She's so proud of the little
I'm so
guy.
proud of myself,
She's-
but you know, listening to you, your style is different. You have a very romantic way of going about
Thank
your
you so
music,
much.
and people are able to emote with you, go on a journey with you. How do you do that?
Well, I think it comes naturally to me, and also to the part where I learned something that's called musical psychology.
Okay.
You know, I visited South Africa one time, and I met some artists, and they taught me that. So the work that we do, what we do is with people. So you should be able to connect with their hearts when you meet up with them or when you're singing. So I put myself in the shoes of the person, and I write lyrics that they will want to sing. So that way, when I'm singing it, they relate to it.
Yeah, we definitely relate to that song. It's one of the more popular songs in Ghana now. But maybe it's our favorite, but which one of your songs would you say is your favorite? I mean, you have Mokobe, you have Ikunim, you have Shida, then you have One and Only. Which song would you say is one of your favorites?
Okay, so One and Only has been my favorite for a while.
Okay.
I think I have a song titled Kashimi. It's on my debut album. It's also competing with One and Only, but there's a song that's coming out. It's called Jalawa. I love it.
You love it so much.
Yeah.
I've always wondered how artists fall in love with their own music. It's very beautiful to see. Like for me, I find it difficult to even to watch myself do something, and so it's interesting to see that you love your music
Yeah.
so much.
That's how I test it. So if I can't have enough of it and I always want to listen to it, I know people are going to love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I get to know that you are 10 years in the industry.
Yeah,
Well, it's more.
I'm actually 13 years.
13.
Yeah, I did 10 years of a concert.
Oh,
And so this year was the 10th. Yeah, I started very young.
Very young.
If you see my, like, I
How
was
old?
daring,
Okay,
you know.
Okay.
So I was very, very daring. She was trying to ask some questions.
But
But you've swept it in
Yeah,
Jesus'
yeah,
name. By the blood of the Lamb.
She's trying to, but I am not. I'm not that old. I just started very young, so I was daring. I was doing things that people wouldn't think I should do. Shooting music videos as young as when I was like 16.
Okay.
You've put her heart at ease.
Yeah. So
16.
that was when I started shooting music videos and writing music. So and the way it goes for me, I have a global agenda. I don't want to make music for just Ghanaians. Yes, Ghanaians will love it. I'll always have Ghanaian languages in there, but then the broader picture is the globe, the world. I want to go to Brazil and have Brazilians singing my music, not Ghanaians in Brazil, but Brazilians relating to my music.
And what has been that one factor, you know, that A-list factor that has been sustaining you throughout all of these years? Though you are not going to tell me the age, but what has been sustaining you?
Oh, you know, like, just the passion, souls, people being touched, the testimonies that people send me. I tell my guys that that's more than any award. Somebody calling me and telling me that my song One and Only saw them through a very rough patch of their life. It really, really urges me on that there's a generation calling out, and I cannot let them down. You know, aside the music, aside all the looking good and doing everything, it comes to that point where people need to be saved. They need to be liberated. Broken hearts need to be mended. If somebody broke your heart, know that Jesus isn't. You know, like, that's what's up.
Okay, I see that. I see what's up. Well, you went to university. You studied
Right.
at the Methodist University College.
Yeah.
You studied information technology.
Right.
Why music?
Information technology, you know, when I was very young and computers came from Windows 95, and I was very good with it. Like, I knew my way around it, even the first time I'd sit behind it. But then I wouldn't say I was forced. My dad always wanted me to be an accountant. because in his workplace, the accountants used to make all the money. So then I went to Accra Technical University, and I was doing music aside that, and I didn't balance the wisdom thing too much. So there were certain classes I was missing and some mid-sems I wasn't writing. So I didn't even realize what was happening. So that didn't go well. But I just say to the glory of God that my dad gave me another chance at that time. That what did I want to do? I said I wanted to do IT aside music, because what I want to do with IT is to be able to catch bad guys online, be a cybersecurity expert, and also be able to, you know, digitally market my music and help artists as well do that on a global scale. So what I studied is only to aid that gift. And with cybersecurity, I believe I can be in Ghana and be protecting networks around the world. And it's also something that can work with my music on a leisure. I don't have to do a 9 to 5. I just have to still get paid some very good bucks whilst I just do it when I can do it. And so music and IT, I'm just trying to make it all work together.
So you went to university twice?
Yes. So the first one was to do an HND. It was not a degree, but I mean, I was amongst the tops when I was given the next chance. I went to Kofi Annan ICT School, AITI. Then I went to Methodist University for 4 years, did my degree, and I'm looking to do my master's in cybersecurity.
Wow, we're looking forward to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely. I think that even that enough is, even that alone is a lot of challenge or something that you had to, you know, be faced with. But aside, you know, your schooling and all of that, what are some of the challenges in life that propelled you to want to officially, this is what I want to do? What are some of the challenges that spearheaded the whole journey for you?
I had a very, very bad childhood. People used to bully me a lot because I'm very soft-spoken. And it changed in secondary school when I encountered music. Music gave me a way out. Now, because of music, I became very important. Hey, I like your voice. Hey, boy, you're single. You know, that kind of thing gave me some confidence. Now, I don't become that dude everybody's laughing at anymore. I become that dude that, you know, some lady that I wanted to talk to, her boyfriend is a fan of me.
Now so it gave you an upper hand.
Okay, okay. So music like gave me that way out. So I'm very, very passionate about it. And when you see me writing music, you think, what's wrong with this guy? Because I beat myself to it. I don't compete with anybody. I compete with my old self. So there's myself that wrote One and Only, or Dead. That's a very, very dangerous guy. He scares me a lot. So if I'm able to beat him, I know I'm stronger. Then the next time I need to beat this new guy. So it's not against anybody around me, it's just against myself.
Well, I mean, your story is Dedo. So we want to take Dedo, but this time around, Dedo in the Lord.
Your love just to blow my mind, and you're always on time. One chip, I love you die. I'm on out there, Del.
I'm not sure that the way now what could my coach machine.
Never seen a lover like you, with the love that's so true, yeah. And what the wrong? Yes, what do you need more? Send you was it done the way he loves me, yes, so. Send you was it done the way you love me, yes, so. Tear down, yes, you don't hear me, tear down. Yes, you don't hear me, tear down, say. Tear down, yes, you don't hear me, tear down. Yes, you don't hear me, tear down. Cause I love like you, but the love is so true. Yeah. And we're wrong, it's what the meaning of wrong. Send your sit on me the way you love me. Send your sit on me, no, yeah. Send your sit on me the way you love me. Yes, way. Down. Yes, you don't hear me, down. Yes, you don't hear me, down. doing me shada. My beginning and my end, oh, Jesus, moment. The one my super lover, ooh, doing me shada. My beginning and my end, oh, Jesus, moment. The one my super lover, doing me shada. My beginning and my end, oh, Jesus, moment. Jesus, moment. It's a mole, it's a mole, it's a mole. My beginning and my end, oh, yes, it's a mole. Down, yes, you don't hear me 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 down,
There though, because we have God and we're still having a conversation with contemporary gospel musician Carl Clotte. I want to ask you one more thing pertaining to this particular video we've just watched. How did you feel making the video with the people on there, every prop that you had to use? How was the whole process like? Let's relive it a bit.
That day, so the night before the shoot, we had someone scheduled to come play the father role.
Okay.
And one thing led to the other, and he said he couldn't make it. So we had to find a way to get someone. So my video director was like, what do you think about EB4? I think he had become like very popular around that time. I think this was in 2019. And I said, okay, let's go for it. Like, I can't just waste all this money for rentals, and we can't do it. If he can do the job, then let's bring him on board. But it all felt right until we released the song. And when we released the song, I got a lot of bashing from the Christian community for why I featured him in the video. And I felt bad about it. One, because I'm not a judgmental person, you know. And on that set, I felt like he didn't think gospel music could be that exciting because it was his first experience. And we're trying to connect. But some way, somehow, he lost it a little bit. So we didn't get along well. And someone told me that the reason why my song didn't go far was because I brought him on board. But I think a song going far is in God's hands. It's not in man's hands. He uses men, but he makes the decisions. So how it went and everything. I love Dedel. I perform and minister Dedel a lot. People love it, they dance to it. But the video is not something that I usually promote a lot because of, I don't like to get a lot of backlash like that. You know?
So would you say because of the backlash you would let go of God's creation, because these are all people?
Oh, no,
I
no,
just
no.
want to know how you're...
I didn't let go of it.
Okay.
It's still on my YouTube channel. People still watch it. There are people actually that love that skit we did at the beginning. It makes people laugh. On the set that day, after he finished acting, everybody was clapping. I was like, wow, this is really good. And I do think he's a very, very good actor. It's just that I would just advise the people in my space, let's stop being judgmental. Like, we're not even that good ourselves to be, you know. Bible says that our righteousness is not even a worthy rag before him. So we are working out our salvation. The way you get someone to be saved is getting closer to them and using them for things that would bring the glory of God. And that is what I did. And I don't regret it. It's only that, you know, what people say and all they've said, and that is why I know one day there's coming a song that I'm going to release. And when that song comes, everybody's going to come looking for these songs. And they wouldn't mind who was in there.
Well, we're glad about that very much for you. Let's talk about a challenge that a lot of artists face, and that is appealing to a generational audience. We have songs, you mentioned that you're a contemporary gospel artist, and so your songs will vibe with me, a Gen Zer. But I can't picture my grandmother singing God over everything. But even my mom, she struggles a lot with contemporary music, but she will sing God over everything. And I think that your music has managed to penetrate to some point the generational divide. How do you think your music is able to do that?
I think it's a gift. You know, kids love my music, old people love my music, and I get fascinated about it. I have a niece that's just turned 2, and when she was 1, she could sing One and Only, you know, and there's very typical old people that I know too, that just because of the gambit I added to it, they just relate to it very well. So I don't restrict myself to just being a contemporary gospel artist. When I go into a Pentecost church, there's a type of music they love. I have to be ready, because when you go to China and they sing in a particular style, you get there and you have to adapt in order to communicate effectively. So if I don't make those adjustments properly, it will affect. I have a song titled Nkunim. It's all three with English ad-libs. It's contemporary style. It starts with Afrobeats, it comes to high life, then goes to the praise shouts from the US. We use that kind of music, but the lyrics are true, so people relate to it very well. So, like I said, I put the person listening to me in perspective, and he said, "Ni awakano ebebemo, ni Jesus akano enuane ebebemo." Atamfu biara to me saying, you know, those kind of lyrics. I put it on melodic wheels, and it just travels into your ears, then into your heart, then you just relate to it.
Do you find that's limiting, that you would have to restrict yourself to a certain language so that people can move with you? Because we are here in Ghana, we listen to music from elsewhere, and we don't even understand the language. We can't even speak it. But then the fact that, oh, it's gospel, it's talking about God, and then we move to it.
Yeah.
Do you think is limiting your you know, that range that you want to?
No, I don't think so. You see, when we released in Kunim, it was a tree song, but I think the manager of Mercy Chinwo posted it. He's Nigerian. He could relate to the music. So I think there's a problem with us Ghanaians. We accept things that are more foreign than local. So let Calclote probably let me travel abroad and be in the UK, or even let me be in Nigeria and let me come with some songs that don't have Ghanaian lyrics and sound a bit Nigerian. I'll be accepted more than if I was here. Best example, Sonny Badu.
Okay. That's your best example.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Sonny Badu, I think the fact that he didn't, you couldn't really tell if he was Ghanaian or he was Nigerian. You know, this is a very technical thing that I'm saying. Like, people just accepted him because of the ba. It was new. And it looked as if it was coming from Nigeria. Then if I go for programs, the number of Nigerian songs that we sing is more than the Ghanaian songs.
And talk about that in your own words, from where you sit as a Ghanaian gospel musician. Would you say that the Ghanaian music industry, I mean the gospel fraternity, would you say that it has grown or evolved compared to other countries?
Yes, very much. We're doing very, very well. Yesterday, I was recording with Empraise, and I got there and one of my managers was saying that, wow, gone are the days people will not invest in gospel music like this. You could see it was a lot of investment, a lot of money. Like, the face of the music is changing. The guys are learning more. Like, we're trying our best to match up. We're getting better sonic quality, better video quality, than before, when people would stand by flowers and just be doing videos and all that. Now it's improved mightily, and we're getting there. We're making effort and making sure that our songs cut across the globe.
But we have a lot of Nigerian gospel musicians that are penetrating Ghana.
Right.
As compared to Ghanaian gospel musicians, you know, going out there. And I can give you some examples. We have Mercy Chinwo herself, Victoria Renze. We have Nathaniel Bassi.
You are a gospel person.
I don't know.
I
mean, there are so many of them. Moses Bliss, like, all of these people.
They're coming here for a lot of programs.
Definitely.
And we aren't going the other way.
And we have Ghana. I think that when it comes to the growth, from where I sit, I think that the growth is felt internally, and it's not being marketed enough, because we had this guy from Maverick City, what's his name?
Chandler Moore.
Chandler Moore, and we had Chandler Moore being invited to Nigeria by Nathaniel Bassey. I thought that was a very massive, you know, connection, but we didn't see that here in Ghana.
I think how would I? It's a general thing, not only gospel. If you check even secular music, it's the same thing. I mean, I've been watching around how people are wondering how Nigerians are filling up arenas and Ghanaians, we can't even fill up little places, and they say Ghanaians abroad don't purchase and support our own music. I think we have to come together, and I think there's also a quota of music, of foreign music that can be played in Nigeria than their own content. They play more of their content than any other content. But here in Ghana, you go and maybe the DJs will come for me, but you get some people playing songs that they've not even been sent to play. But take yours. You will be asked to pay, you know, crazy sums of money. You pay the money, immediately the money finishes, they stop playing. And it disturbs, you know, it becomes a challenge, because what we put out there online is what the international people read and come across. And we're getting there, we're doing well. I see Joe Metal is doing his best. MOG is also doing well with going to the other side. I mean, they are doing more international collaborations with Donnie McClurkin. And for me, I have in my mind working with very top artists like Jonathan McReynolds. I want to work with Todd Delaney. There's so many names I can throw around there, and it's going to happen. You know, from now till 5 years, I want to break that jinx and just make it happen by the grace of God.
And we're looking forward to that. But we've spoken about the gospel music industry. We've also spoken a bit about the secular industry and how the problems are almost identical. What would you say the industry needs to grow?
You know, it's more limiting for the gospel people because we don't get people investing in us. On the secular side, you get different brands supporting, but gospel, try and look for sponsorship.
They're also crying about it. See,
Yeah, they're also crying about
They're
sponsorship.
crying
Yes,
about
but
it. Yeah,
you would hardly see shows sponsored by companies on the gospel side. It's only recently you see Diana Hamilton getting it.
would you, from where I sit again, I would beg to differ, because I think that when it comes to gospel, it's seen as though it's a Jesus thing, and so it should be, you know, someone
so-
should voluntarily, you know, want to help.
They don't
and
see
we have
the
a
business
lot of
side of it.
companies giving out auditoriums for free, or it's
No
not like
way.
no auditorium for
Well,
free.
Hey.
in my church, nobody pays to hold an event in my church.
If anyone comes from outside. to work-
Anyone.
What's your church?
Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry.
Same.
Sam.
Rehoboth Temple. Nobody
really?
pays. We don't pay for worship.
cool.
We truly
La-
believe in that. So, what you're also saying, and there are a lot of churches that support their artists. When you look at MOG, he's been heavily supported by his church.
Yes.
But most secular artists don't have that opportunity, because when you start, if you don't have a label who is willing to believe in you, then you are lost. But for church, you join a church 1 year, 2 years, say I'm a musician, the church will push you.
The number of churches that support in Ghana are very limited. For me, I don't get that.
Is it that you've not searched enough? Is it that you
I have searched. I have a very broad team. We do what we can to try and, I mean, we've been running Calvary Worship for 10 years, and the minimum attendance is at least 1,000 people. That should be able to get us, you know, some brands coming along, coming to fix up tables, wanting to support us. But it becomes an issue. If I tell you how I started the concert, very small, I would be asking for support from people in church. Sometimes on Sunday, people now see you and they are dodging, Obejiskau. It's been very, very challenging. I've had to sell certain things to make money to make a concert work, because it's even more expensive. When you're a secular artist and let's say you are called to a stage, all you might need is a DJ. But I need a full band. And in this case, if it's a concert, everyone needs to take not less than 2,000 per gig. So if it's a 5-piece band, that's 10K, plus the singers, plus the lights, plus everything. You know, and we always have to do it well. And when you are doing a concert too, it's always coming to the point where it's a live recording. So videos, you pay on top of 30 to 40,000 for videos, plus other things that you need to do. So after a concert, you need to spend like 150 to 200,000, and you sell tickets and you don't even make 10% of the money you invested in, and it's a lot. Like the gospel, they say it's a Christian nation, but let me give you a clue. Look for our top best gospel artists. Let me use Joe Mettle as an example. He doesn't even have 1 million followers, but we're in a Christian nation. But secular acts have 3.1 million, 5 million, 6 million. A brand would want to associate with that kind of, numbers, rather than we that will have just 900,000 as tops. It's just recently, even Sonny Badu celebrated 1 million followers.
Would you say that is how you position yourself?
Yes, it was after he did. So it should tell you, if Ghana, we are like 30, 40 million. And the gospel, which is a Christian nation, our following is not that much. But the secular artists have it more. It is more, they get more influencer stuff to do. They get more brand ambassadorial. UTV people do that too.
Is it something you would want to do?
That's something I would want to do.
Because many times the gospel family, they come across as, we don't want all of the social media.
No, we do.
Ours is to go to the church, pray, let the healing come with the music we sing.
Gospel music or Christianity is never boring. It's how people have perceived it to be. I would love to be on social media every single time. If I was an exceptional dancer, I'll dance to my own songs. And I'll do that. One of the things is that I've missed and I'm working on is the fact that my music has gone without me. People know the songs, but they don't know who I am. It's because I haven't built a personality for myself online yet. But if I do that, I feel like if other artists too take that into perspective, and it's always posting content, you're doing something, you're probably working on your car, or you're at home, or you're in the kitchen, or you're trying to work out, or whatever you are doing, you put your music under it. And that's one thing, it's a plus for the secular side, because they make you feel their life. They share stuff with you, they come on live. We don't do that. But I think if we do that more, it's going to open us up to where people say, wow, this guy appeals to these kind of people. When he's live, we have like 30,000 people watching him. Imagine if he was holding my drink and he was on live. Somebody would want to, and that's how we're going to get it. But it's not easy, but we'll do it. We're not restricted to anything. We're just like everybody else. The only thing is that we have an assignment and we're anointed.
And they don't have an assignment?
Oh, everyone has their assignment. That's why I said gospel music is not for everybody. You have to be called for it. And the requirement for being a gospel minister or a gospel musician is that you need to have the anointing of the Holy Spirit.
And talk about events and places that you go to minister. A lot of times when we are comparing the secular world to the gospel world, we see gospel musicians as though they are not supposed to charge when they hold events. For us, it's like Bible class in that's what at least we know. That's what we say. And so a lot of times people or the average, Ghanaian would be like, no crying your gospel no better. I don't know but charges say. When you hear comments like that, what comes to mind? Because we know of Sinach that at the point was charging for events that she was going to. She was initially under Pastor Chris, and now we know that she's doing her own thing. She's gone solo, all because she charged, and then Pastor Chris had initially said none of the musicians signed that him should charge, but then man must survive. And so what comes to mind when you hear comments like that?
So I'm sure you heard the amounts I was throwing about for the concerts and everything. So I know that this is something that I've been talking to myself about, and I don't know how people are going to take it. Some pastors might be very angry at me. I personally wouldn't charge you for a program, but I feel like where I've placed my brand and what the work I've done speaks for itself. So where you invite me, I give you the opportunity to ask what you're offering myself and my band. So when you say that, you think, oh, I have this. If it's not going to work, then that's cool. Then we can't make it, but if we can make it, or I can make it happen, I'll make it happen. That being said, gospel music doesn't have to be free, because when we go to the studios, we pay for it. Let's say we go to church and there's a convention, and everybody's going for the convention. There's a fee to it. You pay because you are going to be accommodated when you get there. You're going to be fed. All those things, you have to pay for it. Music, I go to the studio, and to do a decent live recording for one song will not be less than 4,000 Ghana cedis for one. So let's say I'm doing an album or an EP where it has about 6 to 7, 4,000 times 7. They say freely we receive, freely we should give. Yes, we receive freely, but we added value to it. And when you add the value to it, now it's just like the rains and I don't even know what to, the trees and stuff. God gave it to us free. But what we make out of the trees, we sell. So it doesn't mean that, they said, parable of the sower, I gave one to some, went to work with it, and they got more. The more is what they got from it. If you are going to sit down and say, oh, one day, God is going to bring somebody my way, God has given you all you need. If I'm going for a rehearsal studio, I have to pay 100 cedis per hour to rehearse. If we need 4, and I have to rehearse for every gig, and I'm coming for your program with my band, I have to pay the band. The boys who take rehearsal fee, who is going to pay for it? I don't think that one is free. So if you call me, and for my guys, they will tell you, no, Charlie, let's put, this is the minimum for getting the band, because gone are the days when 10 years ago, I'll tell them, guys, God bless you, and oh, take 10 CDs and go home. It's not the same anymore. Now, people have to eat. Some have gotten married. Some are moving around. I should be, yes. So, oh, when you went to follow Calculator, what did you come back with? Oh, they said a gig, they said they don't have money, so God bless you. And now things are hard in Ghana. How are they going to get home? So let's look at all those factors, and let's not be over spiritual about it, because yes, he gave it to us for free, but we didn't put it down. We had to add value to it. I needed to record, I needed to do photo shoots, I needed to brand it, pay the graphic designer, video director, everything to bring the music to you. If you feel that bringing me will be expensive, the music is free on YouTube. So if the concert is about to happen and you say Calculator is coming, you can play you are free to play any of my videos. For it to bless you. Forgive me.
But earlier you mentioned that when you host an event and ticket sales sometimes don't even make up to 10% of the cost. So why charge?
It's something I'm actually looking at, because I actually thought it was going to at least half the cost. But every time we finish, I don't know how people cross the gate. You're seeing a lot of people, and you've ticketed an event for 50 Ghana cedis, and the event finishes and you have 1,000 people and you only made 4,000 Ghana cedis, and you are looking at, recently we had GRA coming for tax for a gospel show because we were taking tickets, and they didn't know that most of the people that were there got complimentaries and some were made to enter and all that. And if we don't put measures in place, it's going to worry a lot. The reason why I did tickets was, when the worship is flowing, I don't like to cut the worship and start to raise funds. Because it interrupts exactly why we're there. It's like, okay, when we say Yako spirit, we should come and so, we should come and so. I just want to, you are coming for a worship concert, come and worship. But what you pay at the gate is to support what is going on there, because it's not a regular worship service. It's just like when, like I said, we're going for camp meetings or stuff like that. We do pay to have the experience. So let's not victimize music and say that because it's music and Nyamina the chair. I had a voice coach once. I paid to train my voice. Everybody can sing, but not everybody knows how to sing. To know how to sing is expensive.
Okay, to know how to sing is indeed expensive.
Yeah.
Well, coming back to your music, we're wrapping up the show.
Right.
We want to know, you have a new song out that is out of your 10 years experience. And so we want to know why that approach, why all of a sudden, okay, because every time you give us new songs, but then why just base it on your 10 years experience?
So what's out is actually not just a song, it's a pack, it's an album. It's a 13-track album. It's called the Shida album. It's a Thanksgiving album. So after 10 years, it's only right to thank God with a project that I've been building over the period. So that's why 1 Thessalonians 5:18, in all things give thanks to God, and that is His will for our lives. So I just want to say thank you for the first 10. The next 10 we're taking on the globe. So if that's going to happen, then gratitude will change my altitude and take me higher.
10 years, and there's still a long way to go.
Yes.
And when you're talking, you mentioned something about time. In one of your submissions, that you give yourself, a particular time to go. How important is it for you to wait and to grow?
It is very important. I was telling a choir I was teaching this weekend that premature exposure is dangerous. You might be calling for a particular stage. I tried a guy. I've been a judge on certain gospel reality shows on TV, and some people just want to come out, but they don't have what it takes. Body language, niche, when it comes to how you sound, everything. You should be ready for this space. Immediately you are not prepared, or it gets to the point where you are not ready to come out, and you are not ready to build yourself and wait for the right time. You will come out and people will forget you, and coming back up after you've fallen is more dangerous than... Jometo once told me something. In this space, it's not about going up, it's about consistency. After you get up, it's about staying up. Immediately you stop doing the things that got you up there, you're going to come down. Because every day, people are coming up. Yeah.
Definitely, and we are hoping to hear more music from you.
Most definitely.
And so, right now you are basically promoting all
The
of
Shida
30,
album.
the Shida album, and it's all basically to give thanks to
Yes.
God. And so, what are your final words to people, the younger generation wanting to be a gospel artist just like yourself, people wanting to romanticize music through God? How would you advise them? What's the way to go about it?
So have a vision, have a dream, be dedicated to the craft. Starting off from where I started, I didn't even think that some of the things just blew my mind. I was releasing one and only like how I would release any song, not expecting a lot of mileage, but it blew up and it got a lot of people to get to know me in 2018. People still sing the song now as if it was just released yesterday, and it's because I did not give up. Try to find your sound. Be unique. If you are I picked a few global artists, lent their songs, try to sound like all of them, so that if I can sing a Brian McKnight song and he's a globally acclaimed artist, then I can also be a globally acclaimed artist. Make sure that even if you don't have songs, start looking for friends that write good songs. Start putting yourself together and know that the big break is going to come. Whether it takes some time or not, it's still going to come. Don't give up. Don't say that, no, money not there. It's both to gospel and secular artists. Give yourself to the craft. Let there always be something that's unique about you. Because if people don't see that you're good, this boy be hard,
Then there'll be a problem.
there'll be a problem. Nobody will want to invest and support you. And stay humble. That's my secret.
And so what are some of the platforms that people can stream your song from or even follow you on? What's the way forward?
So all digital streaming platforms were there. On Instagram is Carl_Clotte. I'm very interactive on there. Facebook is Carl Clotte. And YouTube, stream my music. Carl Clotte Official. Yeah.
So let's end with you singing something. Antoshi, we are going off.
I
So,
think it would be a full circle moment to sing My One and Only.
yeah,
Or you want to sing something off Shida?
Oh yeah, I think
If you do One and Only, we
should-
can help you.
Yeah.
You can help. So please carry on.
My one and only, God, you're my everything. You got over everything. But Jimmy, you mom. My one and only, God, you're my everything. Yeah, God over everything. But Jimmy, you mom.
Hey, oh, okay, great. You see the rips around, they are crazy.
I have a feeling I'm being sandwiched by two singers.
Really?
Because I'm hearing some high tenor, and I'm hearing alto as well.
Oh,
And they know what brave servants are.
oh,
It's dangerous territory.
oh.
But just as we've had the time of our lives, it's been a very informative morning, a gospelly informative morning, listening to you.
Thank
And
you.
we hope that people out there have listened to you, not just listened, but then picked a cue from this, and then we are going to, relate it in their daily lives so that life gets better for them. This has been the feature segment on Sun Up on Shobiz TV with Carl Clotte, a contemporary gospel musician. And so he's saying to stream his songs. His songs are all on the platforms you can think of, so you can definitely stream them. Michael, it's been an incredible morning. I say it was on our makeup, glam by say, and our production guys amazing. Our producer, Kosia Nelly, always up to task with everything that has to do with being on set right here. And so we started from our motivation. We are saying that when you look back, the shadows are too many. You don't want to look at the shadows. And so fixate your eyes or fixate your face on the sunshine. And from then come beautiful things. We went into our well-being segment. Aiko was on there with Doc, and they spoke a lot about kyphosis, right?
Kyphosis.
Definitely, and so definitely hunchback as we know it, and so we hope that you learn to sit right, you don't carry a lot of weight, okay, because that's not going to be healthy. And our bulletin, we brought to you the hashtag Occupy Jilobi House, and that's a protest that went on throughout the weekend, and so we're hoping that you've inspired and you have a graceful Monday morning. I hope people don't like Monday. What do you have to tell them?
I love Mondays. It's the day for reset for me. It's the day that I realize that, hey, I have to do something. So I love Mondays a lot for that reason. It's the first day of ginger for me for my week ahead. And I hope that that's what we've given you here today, that ginger that you need to Kenya and make that move on this special Monday morning. We're very glad to have been with you right here on Sun Up on Showbiz TV. Of course, we come your way every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. So do join us. We'll be glad to have you with us. We are enjoying ourselves here. So come and enjoy yourselves with us, okay? But for now, it's a bye.